2 years ago, Abby Wright got diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. While she may have beaten it, her husband, Jimmy Wright, is on a mission to raise awareness on cancer, especially children suffering from terminal cancer. In order to accomplish his mission, he wants to create a Guinness World Record for cycling from Saudi Arabian borders to Ras Al Khaimah. What does this journey really look like? Let's hear it from Jimmy and Abby.
Abby was diagnosed with cancer in
2021.
2021. I was currently at that time in Sydney working for a football team, and Abby and the family were up in Brisbane, so in a different state. So we're dislocated at the time when she first found out.
I was also in the Australian Army. I had served maybe 14 years by then, and I'd just been promoted to Major. And I was put in charge of recruiting for the state of Queensland. Very busy because Jim was in Sydney, so I had the 3 kids doing 3 different drop-offs, maintaining my physical fitness because that's what my role required of me as well. I didn't have a lot of time for myself, you know, and I always wonder if I had had a bit more time to focus on myself, would I have picked up symptoms earlier? But you know, you can't dwell on that.
I just remember getting the phone call when she first found out about the lump and its diagnosis, and obviously that was really emotional, and to be told that someone that lives such a clean and healthy lifestyle, it was a real shock, to be honest, because you just go, how does that happen? Why does it happen to someone so healthy and fit and that lives such a good life? But then I suppose it's the reality of what life is and that things can happen, and that's just how it was.
Stage 3. So yeah, I found a lump in my breast, and that actually happened accidentally. I was playing like touch rugby at work with some colleagues, and I received a pass and it hit me in my chest and it hurt, and I didn't think anything of it. And then a few days later it was still very tender, and so I just I felt around and thought, you know, that feels like a lump there. You know, I don't think that's been there before. I went to the doctor immediately the next day, which I'm very grateful for, because life can get busy and you put off these things, especially as a mum, I think. So I had to wait 2 weeks to get into a breast clinic. And the day that I turned up to the breast clinic, I had my computer and I was going to do some work. And so I just went through the day not actually understanding that the longer you stay in this room, the worse it is for you. And at the end of the day, when I sat in with the doctor after having all the scans and things like that, and the doctor said to me, you know, she said, I can't give you a diagnosis, but from my years of experience, it looks like you've got breast cancer. And your brain just can't comprehend this information because it's not me. This can't happen to me. You know, I've done everything right. I'm healthy. I don't smoke. I've had 3 children. I breastfed them all for 12 months each. I've done everything that they say should prevent breast cancer, but I still had it. And then I had to wait until the next day to receive the diagnosis of how much it had progressed. And by that stage, it had gone into my lymph nodes under my arm. So hearing that was obviously very concerning, because once it's in your lymph nodes, it could be anywhere. And I think it was that stage that I was trying to look for things, for positives. And I think I said to Jim that the only thing that could make this worse was if one of our children was diagnosed with cancer. I think that would be the worst thing. It was really tough because I wanted to protect them, but at the same time I wanted them to be able to understand what I was going through, and I also wanted to arm them with enough information so that when kids at school were telling stories of their grandparents that died of cancer, because everybody's got a cancer story, I didn't want them to think that means mum's got to die of cancer. So it was a very delicate, long process.
But I think it was also about not making it a scary thing, so almost normalising it with what Abby was going through, right?
Yeah, and I wanted to make sure that it wasn't a period in their life that mum had cancer, that it was just a distant memory that once mum had cancer. I didn't want them to remember the whole, you know, it's been, 2.5 years now? I didn't want them to remember this period as mum's cancer period. I just wanted them to think, oh yeah, mum, you know, battled breast cancer once.
I think she had a big journey when she had cancer, but she was very brave and tough, and she pushed through it. So she's better now, and I love that she's better now.
So I had 3 months of chemotherapy, and I was really lucky during that time that I had a special cap that I could wear on my head that would freeze my hair follicles so that the chemotherapy couldn't make it through to my hair follicles. Keeping my hair was also another way of not showing the children just how sick maybe I was, so that they could live a normal life.
We were sitting on the couch and I sort of said, what do you think about doing a fundraiser for cancer, breast cancer? And it was that was when Abby said, you know, the only thing that could be worse is if our kids contracted it. And so then we sort of had a discussion about the fact that it'd be good to do something for kids cancer and to raise awareness locally in this country and, you know, to help out local communities and give back. And so that's when we thought, all right, let's give this a go and see what we can rally up and try and give back to the community and give back to the children of the UAE. I have socially enjoyed cycling, and so that record was, you know, something that I thought, you know what, it's going to challenge me physically, mentally, emotionally. I've always wanted to do something, but I think over time, or as we've gone from doing a Guinness World Record attempt to where we are now, it's the ability to try and raise money for children's cancer has well and truly overwhelmed just the idea of breaking a Guinness World Record. And I think that in itself has become my number one focus, to try and raise funds for children of this country and support families that have gone through what we have. Physically, I've never cycled 600 kilometres, and I don't think many people have, so it's going into the unknown and dealing with the unknown again, physically and emotionally and mentally, to trying to understand what 600 kilometres looks like on a bike. It's not something that I'm going to go and practice every day. So I think it's just about doing what I can with the time I have, and then on the day just having the right emotional connection and mental connection to why I'm doing it, and then hopefully the pedals keep turning. I think a really important factor for me to keep in the back of my mind is I'm riding for 600 kilometres, and whether that's 20 hours, 24 or 40 hours, that's just going to be discomfort, temporary discomfort. And at the end of the day, you know, 2-3 days later, I might have recovered and everything will be fine. You know, there's other people in this world, you know, and the people, particularly the people that we're trying to raise money for here, the children and the families are going through, you know, proper suffering, which is not by choice. And so if I can keep that in the back of my mind, the pedals will keep turning.
Find those moments of joy and moments that bring the children joy, I think, and try to have as many of them as possible. I know that's personally something that helped me through some dark moments and helped me not to, I guess, fall down a hole of depression, which can so easily happen in times of adversity and the times that you don't know how you're going to react to it, I think.
Yeah.
So just being present in the moment.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more, yeah.